Hey, you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Oh, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah. The Queen of Shade. Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Salutations, Duvos. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with another special presentation. Moving full speed ahead, getting to know amazing people, talking to people from all over the world. It has been an amazing journey and an amazing experience. Having said that, I have someone that you need to meet right now. I first came across this young man back in, I think, 2013, 2014. I watched their life progress and their career. And now we're sitting down and we're having a conversation post all of that time passing. And it's going to be quite a good one because this one is special. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally introduce you to Sage. Yay! How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
That's great.
It's really gloomy here, but that's okay because the summer was really hot and I worked in 90-degree weather, so I'm
Yeah,
not complaining. So,
yes, love that.
so how are you today?
I'm doing well. I just got back from school. I had school all day and the traffic, and then Miami is just a mess. But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, what school are you going to?
I go to FIU,
Okay.
Miami, yeah.
What are you majoring in?
Geoscience.
That's right, boy.
Yeah, I'm a science nerd for sure.
Yeah, I was too. I was a biology nerd
Love that.
in high school and in college. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I see you got plants behind you. Who's the plant daddy?
I'm the plant daddy. That's me.
Yeah.
Love plants,
They're really
and
beautiful.
I need
They
more. I'm like addicted. Like I need to keep continually buying plants and propagating them and giving them away and collecting them.
that's really, you know what? It's so crazy because when I met you, you were so young.
Yes, I was.
You
I
know,
think I was what, like 21,
yeah,
21. Yeah.
yeah. You're still young, still
Yeah.
gorgeous, but
Still
it's
young and full of life. Moisturized kids.
but this month I turned 40.
Really?
Yes, at the end of this month,
Wow. Well, I
I've
hope I
been
look good.
around. I've been around.
Girl.
Hey, girl. Yeah, I turned 40 at the end of this month. It's so crazy.
Wow.
It's so crazy how time
It
flies.
is. It is. Are you a Virgo then?
I'm a Libra. I'm a Libra. I'm at the
Libra. Okay.
yeah, I'm at the end. Yeah, I'm at the end. The 29th. Yeah, I
Okay.
will
Okay. Yeah, like
turn.
right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so I will turn. Thank you. I will turn 40 years old. But you know what the crazy thing was?
What?
I couldn't wait. All my life, I've been wanting to be 40. And I'll tell you why real quick before we get into you. I had an uncle who I loved, oh my God, dearly. And he died at 40. Yeah, HIV and AIDS complications. And he was just my favorite uncle. And, growing up religious, you hear different things about, being gay and different things like that, but we're not going there. But what happened was, I remember him praying and asking the divine to let him see his 40th birthday because he had contracted it, I think, in the 70s and like late 70s, early 80s. So he saw his 40th birthday. And I just was really worried. Like it like always stayed with me. It was like, look, bitch, you got to live past 40. Like you
Oh
got
my
to.
gosh.
Yeah, so that was a thing with me. So it also gives me, I'm in the prime of my life. It gives me the age now to go with my wisdom. You know,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
like everything is like lining up. But anyway, we'll get into that later. So, Miami, is Miami your normal home?
This is where I live. Yeah, I bought a home here. I bought a house. There's been so much that's happened since 2013. Geez. I bought a house here in April.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Were you
First
all
time.
originally from Miami, or where were you from
No,
originally?
no, 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 no. I grew up mostly in the DC metro area. So
See metro area. Now I know everybody's looking at you like this boy is looks so young and beautiful. How did he buy a house? Well, let me just spoil it for him. He was in the Navy.
spoil it. He was, yes, he was. He did the Navy and the Navy did him. And then he said, you know what, let's cancel this contract. Like as soon as that thing was up, I was like, look, I don't let y'all do this to me twice already.
You were in eight?
8 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
I remember seeing pictures of you on the deck of the boats, those big,
Uh-huh.
big, big, big boats. And
Yes.
you were so beautiful. You were smiling and you were in your uniform. And I guess those were moments with you having a good time with the crew. But
Yes.
I
The,
remember
the few good moments. The few
yeah,
good moments. Yeah.
Lord, Lord, Lord. All right. Okay. So, Miss, you bought a house in Miami and you're going to school and life is good. You're plant daddy.
I'm playing Daddy FF.
I asked you to come here today because I want to catch up with you. I want to see and hear where your head is because it was such a long time ago that we met. I want to hear about this man that evolved and
Yeah.
grew. So let's start at the like the sound of music. Let's start at the very beginning. Um,
Yes.
you told us you're from the DC metro area. So are you an only child?
No, I am not. I have two sisters.
Okay.
They're beautiful. I love them.
Older or younger?
One older, one younger.
So you're a middle baby.
I'm the middle baby, yeah, and it definitely we had to work on that, because that's a real thing. Like that causes like a real thing. So, but once you discover, I feel like that's part of like growing up, like self-discovery. Huge. Like in the last since 2013, oh my God, like I'm a completely different person. Like I've leveled up so many times on every level. Um, so yeah. I'm glad to be a middle child. I'm glad to have all of that experience with me for sure.
Yeah. My God. So, okay, I'm going to keep you there in the Navy for a second. So, Navy. So then you turn around and what I saw, because you kind of disappeared for a while
Yeah.
from social
I like
media.
to do that. I love to disappear and work on me.
Okay. I was going to say, because you disappeared for a while, a long while.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, you were in Hawaii.
Yes, I
How
was.
was that?
Yeah, I was living in Hawaii for 3 good years. It was like probably going like the best 3 years. But now we're in Miami. But honestly, like that was great while I was, but now we're in Miami, and I feel like this could be like, this is definitely the best years of my life right now.
Yeah. How do you like Miami? What was it that made you choose Miami?
Okay, so well, I was coming up on my 8 year mark in the Navy. I was like, look, we gonna do this again, or are we going to do something different? And a lot of people, they make these choices off of fear. They like, let me stay in the Navy. Let me stay in the Navy because if I get out of the Navy, I'm not gonna have anywhere to go. I'm not gonna have anything to do. I'm gonna be poor. I'm not gonna have any money. Let me tell you right now, if you're watching this right now and you're in the Navy and you don't want to be in the Navy, get out because you're going to be fine. You will succeed just fine and be just fine with like I got out and I had nothing, but I felt so full. I felt so rich, like I felt I had everything. I had a great support system. And yeah. So Miami, well, I was like turning 29, about to turn 29 when I made my decision to get out. And I said, where am I going to go? Because obviously I did Hawaii, so I can't go anywhere cold. I'm not going home. I don't want to go to Cali. It's a little chilly there. So I started saying, what do I want to do next? So I want to become a meteorologist. I want to be a hurricane expert. Where are the schools? Figure that out. So I came up with like Arizona, California, and Miami. And from there, I just chose down no Cali because it was LA, and I'm not a fan of LA. If you're in LA, love you, but you guys can have that.
Yep.
Um,
I'm the same way.
I can't do LA. Like, no, no.
Nope.
And then we got to Arizona. I love Arizona. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
The
But
rattlesnakes.
and it's so far from like everything. Like, there's not really anything like really going on there. Um, so I think maybe I'll move there later in life, like when I'm a little bit older and like slower. And then they said Miami, and I was like, well, I think we can do Miami one time for the one time. So I was like, let me go to Miami one time while I still got it real quick. Have me some fun out there. So there was, and then I hit up my friend, my homegirl Jackie. I hit her up. She's like, okay, let's go. So we moved out here. We both go to FIU. We met in the Navy. That's a whole other thing. We're like life partners.
Oh, that's good. So you hit her up. So you guys moved together.
We did. Yep. She moved from Texas. I moved from Maryland. About 7 months. Well, it was December. Yeah, 7, 8 months after we got out of the Navy, we packed up and moved.
Wow. So she has her own house.
No, we moved together here.
Okay. So you guys are okay. So
Yeah.
you guys are cohabitating. You got a wife.
Cohabiting. Yeah.
And you got a whole wife.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody says too. Yeah. And it's funny because she just recently started dating someone.
Yeah.
And that was one thing we talked about was like, you got to make sure your man is down with me because I'm going to be right there too. And luckily he's cool. So we like him.
Oh my God. So you opened the door. So I'm going there. How's your dating life?
My dating life, well, it's I'm really focused on myself right now.
That was the answer I wanted.
I was dating around. I was in a pretty long relationship actually. My longest 4 years, and then I moved here and somebody don't fell in love with me, and I fell in love with him, and
easy to do.
We did that whole thing. And that was really great. It was the most beautiful thing. If I have any advice on love, I say go for it because wow, that was the most beautiful, remarkable thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Just go with it and have fun and enjoy the moment. I think that's what I would say to anyone.
Get this. I'm one of these anti celebrity people. I happen to be one, but my next question is kind of bizarre because I'm like, well, why did it end? And I don't want you to go into deep detail. I just want because this is my thing. A lot of when you do things, and this goes for because you're you want to be a meteorologist, so that is public eye. A lot of times when we're in the public eye, and this is our lifestyle and our career, our love has to take a back seat, or it can't stand up under the pressure. And honestly, I want to know because then I'll add mine. But I have my first boyfriend in I've never had a boyfriend before. I had plenty of sexual situationships. Yeah, situationships, but I've never had a boyfriend, and I've known him 20 years. So I want to know, like you say, it was a beautiful experience, but are you one of those people where it's like, okay, I experienced love and I can move on because we just grew in different directions, or why wasn't it forever? That kind of. And I realistically, it's not, it's just realistically so that people understand, well, you're saying I had the love of my life. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not in that relationship anymore.
What the hell happened?
I'm not trying to ask that question because that's nobody's business but you and that person. But what I'm getting at, that's why I love you as Sagittarius, because you take your time. But because it's just like, I want to see where if everything was right and everything was beneficial, why? Because this is the thing. People don't understand, and this is why I'm trying to illustrate this, because you're my first person to come to my camera in over 216 episodes or interviews of doing this that has said that. And what I know is that you can love a person and not be with them.
Yes, that's true. Hmm.
See, that's why I was going to do it before, but because of your hesitation, I got to tell you what I'm after so you don't clam up on me. So,
Hmm.
but that's my point, because my point is sometimes being with the person can last 4 years, and
Hmm.
then sometimes it doesn't last,
Yeah.
or it lasts forever. You
Hmm.
know, like what people need to understand about love is that it's different for
Every love is different, even for the same person. Like, for example, if you look at both of my exes,
yeah,
the one that I was in a relationship with for 4 years, we still talk.
yeah,
We're cool. We still love each other.
yeah,
Not in love with each other, but we still have love for each other. I have love for him. He has love for me, um, and it's cool. Now the other one is just different. Like what happened was like an event that none of us expected. Basically, the unexpected happened. They always say expect the unexpected, and there was literally nothing that could have prepared either of us for the event that took place.
yeah,
And it just, I guess, one of the halves was not willing or able to see it through.
yeah,
When you get into a relationship with people, for me, in my eyes, you're in this for a reason, right? Like you're in this for like time, right? Or whatever the
yeah,
case may be. And when things get rough or something happens, you're supposed to work through it. But people's minds can do these things where,
hmm,
they'll think something, even though you say something and you say this and they think that, and then it's all of that. And now you come back around and now you have to do all the damage control. Sure, you patch that up and then it happens again. And then they're like, well, how many times am I going to do the type thing? You know what I'm saying? So, you really never know. You can never be prepared. You
yeah.
never know what to expect.
You know what's so crazy? I woke up this morning, and this was actually in reference to my family, because I don't have a lot of family, that like blood family, that support me. My family is
Mhm.
mostly my chosen family, boyfriend included. It's chosen family. So
Mhm.
I was thinking about my family today, and these are all relationships. So the song by Kelly Rowland, "Bad Habit," was playing in my mind, and distinctly, how many times are you going to apologize about the same thing? And how many
Mhm.
times do I take you back when I'm not the one doing wrong? So that was the part that
Mhm.
kept
Yeah,
playing. So
that's a good
yeah,
line. That's a good
what
line.
I want to put the kibosh on this and put the little smooth little icing on this is what I want people to understand is love is beautiful, but like you said, not everybody is prepared to go the distance
Yeah.
or to nurture that love completely. And
Yeah.
so that is, yeah, because it's so crazy
But you
because
never know who they are, though. You'll never know who those people are until a situation comes about. You know what I'm saying? Because
challenges.
you look at it like, oh, I really want to date this person. They got all these things like lined up. Their mind is right, their money is right, everything's
And you find
good,
out they're crazy.
and then
Yeah.
they just think very differently from you, and you guys can't find a way to move past it. That's a reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens more times than not, because I this is the thing, like I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, I'm so lucky to have him because he's loved me for 20 years. I met him when I was 19. And it was love at
Y'all
first
being,
sight.
y'all being in each other's lives.
Yes. So get this. It was love at first sight. And then I ran from him for 20 years but this is the reason, like, I felt like I needed to add value. I felt like I
Okay.
have value. I was 19. He was
Mhm. Yeah.
25, 26, because he's only like 6 years older than me. But like I felt like and he always says to me, you have value. You had value then. But my thing was my point is I needed value out here. Like out here.
Mhm.
Like I have out here. I need to own some shit.
Mhm.
That was what I was saying. I needed some property. I needed,
Mhm.
like I
Right.
needed those things that a lot of successful relationships are built on, because I knew that without those things, the relationship would have taken a turn for the worse. I didn't want him to be my dad.
Hmm.
He had like he started his career helping children and teens in the New York area, and child services and things like that. And I was already coming out of a bad situation, home life. So I did not want him to have to be my father. I didn't
Right.
want, because that's
Yeah.
what I want. I knew that I wanted him to be my partner. So I had to go away. And we talk about it even through, even child, I had a lot of situationships. I will say that I had a lot of situationships because I'm one of those people that I'm prone to excess. If I like to do
Mhm.
something, then I do it, and I do it to death. Same with,
Okay.
like, it's with work. Like I do it to death because I enjoy to do it. So, but I could never, I never found anyone that really touched my heart and soul in the way that he did.
Hmm.
And then with that, I was able to, like years later, I was able to bring him into my life and bring him into the healed version of myself.
Which is a good thing. That's a
Yeah.
really important thing. People don't know about that. And they
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, come on in. Come on in. I'm broken and all fucked up.
My boyfriend's a Sagittarius. So this is why we're having this conversation and understanding, because yeah.
Hmm.
But best sign in the world. But that's the thing. Like, even now, like, it's so crazy because one night I broke down to him and I was just like, I'm old now. I was like, and he's, now mind you, he's 6 years older than me. Okay. So
Right.
he
So
like,
you
what you try? Yeah. Okay. So it was like, I wasted all of my good years, like chasing this thing or trying to make it or do this or do that. And I was like, there's always going to be somebody younger, prettier. I said these things to him. He said to me, I loved you for 20 years. And you think you can get rid of me now?
Yeah.
And I had
Clearly.
to really, like, in mid cry, I had to be like,
Oh
oh,
shit.
yeah, yeah. So, okay, moving past that. So now you're dating. Yeah, we just gonna skirt past that. They
Not
got,
even dating. I'm not dating. I'm not dating. No.
that's right. You're not dating. You said you were checking it out. It's, yeah, but you're focused. But this is the thing, and people have to get that too. You're
Mhm.
focused on your next big venture.
Yes.
And that, listen, with this career, on the 9th of August, I celebrated 10 years of celibacy.
What?
Yes.
10 years.
Yes. I
What?
was so, listen, listen.
She's brand new.
Me like, come on. You looking at me like that movie. What that movie? I forget what movie it said. Oh, he got that nasty woman's disease.
Lord. Not 10
10
years.
year, 10 whole years.
Wow.
But
That's
but
amazing.
see, I brought it up because I want people to see how dogmatic and focused you have to be on bettering your life. It was like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm this healed person now. Well, let me go get the things that healed people have.
All right.
Let me not bring somebody in and we just be staring at each other like, oh,
Right.
you can't.
Broken.
It's not enough. It's not enough. But I will see him for my birthday, and I will not be a virgin anymore.
Ah.
I will not be a virgin anymore.
We love that. We love that.
Honey, I will not. So yes, but this is the thing. Like, I already, and I knew then, like when I met you, you displayed a certain level of maturity that most young people didn't have. And I want to ask this: would you say that is because of the Navy and what they expected from you?
No, I
Okay.
think that the way that I move now and the way that I always have moved, I
Yeah.
wouldn't not always, but like definitely 2015 and
Yeah.
on is very much like I know that I'm being watched, right? Like I know that people see me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know if anybody's ever thought of this, if anybody who's watching, but say for example, me and you walk into Starbucks and we go and sit down and we're talking and laughing, yada yada. People who are around you will look at us and they'll be like, "Oh, they're this and this and that, this, right?" Like they have you all figured out in their head.
Yeah.
Even though they know nothing about you, they don't know anything about you. They're just observing and they make it all up in their heads. And that's what humans do. It's normal human nature. Um, but I caught on to that very early in life, like very early, like probably high school or earlier. So I don't want anyone to ever think that like I'm like a mean person, a mean spirited person, or like too rowdy or anything that's like not enjoyable. So I kind of just like, found this way to enter into the situation with good energy, like that's really what it's all about, is like attractive energy, like, oh, I want to engage with you type thing. So I feel like maybe that could be like what you sensed and what you picked up on, just being aware, like self-awareness, you know what I mean? I think that's something that everyone should be conscious of.
Yeah.
Important.
Now I'm going to add something to that because I come from fashion. So would you say you had to learn how to cultivate that energy that was inside of you all along because you are innately and overwhelmingly beautiful? And people have a tendency to, like you said, make up all kinds of shit about you because
No, I mean, I don't walk around places being like, I'm so beautiful. Like I don't.
no. I'm not the awareness of it, not the projection. The aware, like, did you, because this is the thing I had to do. I had to
Okay.
realize, like, young, model, tall, thin, ripped. I had to realize how to ease into situations that did not always put the attention on me. Because when it did come on me, it was like, oh, this bitch is the center of attention. Oh, this bitch is.
Okay.
You see,
I
so,
can see that.
like, did you learn how to? Because this is what I've also learned too. If you don't draw attention to your beauty, they won't. They'll see it in you, but they're going to take their cue from you. If you act like you're a regular guy, they're going to be like, okay, he's really beautiful, but he's acting regular. So let me not act any other way or treat him any other way than how the energy he's giving me.
Yeah, I can see that. I
Okay?
focus on being authentic. Like I think that authentic energy is really attractive energy. I think that beauty is an energy.
Yeah.
Beauty is not like, fixing your face or like, fixing your hair. Like I feel like beauty it comes from within and it's reflected in the eyes of who you see and who you speak with and who you share your life with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like, and especially since I left the Navy, I've been very much like, either you like me or you don't like me. There is going to be no filter over here. I did that for 8 years. I'm done with the filters. Like, I don't care. Like, you're going to get how I feel. And it's been good. Like, cause like I feel good, so I can put good energy out and I receive good energy. Oh my God. Like, I'm like so blessed. I feel so full and so happy here in Miami. I recently came across like a really good group of friends who are real and authentic and loving and caring, and the energy is perfect. We all mesh very, very well. And I feel like I am granted that due to the work that I've put in on myself spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like I've come this far and really only just beginning because I just moved to Miami and there's some things that I'm going to be putting out soon. You guys are going to see it. Follow me, follow your boy.
Yes.
You're going to see it.
You're a man of many talents. I was going to get there. You're a man of many talents. And
Yeah.
that's, we're going to get there. We're going to go there because you're a man of many talents. And I like what you're putting out because what you're putting out is a very healed person. That's why I brought it up and I said it the first time. It's a very healed, very conceptualized person because what people don't understand is you don't achieve success in anything that you're doing if you don't first visualize that thing. And
Yes.
with the visualization of it comes like right when you visualize it, you have to start to become it long before it shows out here.
You won't even know when it comes out, like for others to see. Like you won't even know. I don't even know if you'll ever know, honestly, because I don't know. Like I felt like, obviously, like you said, I have talent, right? I've known that for years and years and years, right? Like years.
Yeah.
Where's the music? It's music. The talent is music. Where's the music? Where's your why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? You know, well, it's not really, that's not even a question I can answer. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's the work that you do for yourself.
Yep.
What do I need to do to get to where I want to be? That needs to stop. Like that step needs to be removed from the equation, and you need to just really manifest the final step every day. Like it needs to be like a self affirmation every morning, you know, type thing. Once you start doing work with your energy like that,
Yeah.
it all starts flooding and everything starts to fall right into its place.
Yeah. I understand that because even, I'm a musician as well. So I know the artistic process. And nowadays we can't just be the artist. We have to be the entrepreneur and the businessman as well. So they're like, what people don't understand is it's a process. And the funny thing is the last step is actually the recording. Like that's not the hard part. Like that
Uh-huh.
thing, no, that's the stuff that we're good at. That's the stuff that we can naturally do. We can naturally sing. But it's all
Mhm.
this other stuff that you got to double time and you got to learn and you got to become. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. You like what people don't understand is each song that you write, each song that you record, each song that you give is a page out of your soul. So that
Yeah.
is like, the experience there. And, even when you write those songs, you have to recover. There was times when I remember when I was first writing my first project to where I wrote that song and that song was so powerful and my producer heard it and I would do the melody for her and then she would just make it, she'd flip it because my producer's crazy. She Frankenstein's mama, honey. Like she's
Mhm.
good. Like, yeah, she's good. Shout out to me on the boards, Kara Taber. She just put out her own album. But
Oh.
she would flip. Yeah, she does it. Oh, and it's what we attract.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's what we attract.
It
Oh,
is.
but there would be songs that I didn't even realize were that deep
Mhm.
until I actually recorded them and listened, and then I needed time off. I
Yeah. No,
couldn't.
you're absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I've been in the studio. I don't know how your process is, how your artistic process is, but I prefer to get a track
Hmm.
and write to the track. And so it's very like last minute kind of, but it just flows out of me. I can open up. And I know there have been times where I find something that's like, oh, this sounds really good. This sounds really good. And then I sing it out, record it, hear it back, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm exhausted, exhausted. Like it takes a lot out of you, you know, physically.
Yeah. I am the person. So get this. When I write, remember I told you about that Uncle Sydney of mine. His name was Sydney. Um,
Sydney.
Sydney, the one who died, my favorite uncle. He was into music so much that when he crossed over, he became kind of like my spirit guide, especially around music. So
Wow.
like, I literally hear his voice and he'll sing things to me,
Wow.
like whole
Wow.
songs, each whole like get it. When I go to because get this, I like tracks too, but get this, when I go to my producer,
Mhm.
I'm singing out of my mouth every way that the song goes, from the opening to the first verse to the chorus to the bridge to all of these different parts. I'm singing the song from start to finish how it goes.
Wow.
So I have production credit because
You're like that. That's
yes,
completely different. I
yes,
love that.
yes. So what happens is then she comes back and
Mhm.
I'll send her like the memos and the voice and the recordings and she slides the music in. Like I love how she does that.
Do you do like a cappella in the studio?
Yeah, well get this, not in the studio. I do it at home. I do it at home because for a long time she was so far away from me that we were doing my process over the computer. So I do when I tell you when I make a song, it's a cappella. I'm singing the whole song out, and then she comes in and slides the music in. We both
So
have
you just do it like with your timing, like you just do timing, you just
get
sing
it.
the whole song
I
from top to bottom.
listen.
Wow.
I know everything. Like she says to me that creating for me is one of the easiest things because I will pause long enough for the music to do what it needs to do before it goes into the second verse.
You make it easy for her.
Yes, she said I make it easy for her.
This is a talent. This
She
is
said,
talent, right?
she said
That's
for
talent.
me. But the thing is, I saw that in you. That's why I'm talking to you about this because I want you to meet my producer. I want you to meet my producer.
Yes, and we have been texting. We be on the phone.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, good. Okay, good. Because I'm like, no, because it's like the slat. She just slides in the roof shingles, like, and it just
Wow.
and then she make like the and then when I hear the music, it's just like, but
Ooh.
yeah, but basically I'm like that too. So what I'll do is I'm working on my next. I've been working on it, and get this. I have after my album came out, my debut album came out in 2018. I wrote a whole nother album, but due
Mhm.
to money situations, it did not come out. So I
Okay.
have that one, and now
Okay.
that I'm getting into a coin, I'm already
Okay.
writing another project, but I have this project here waiting. So
Okay.
I'm already writing new shit. So
She
I
got
don't
it on back order. She's ready. Just give me my spot. Give me my spot.
listen, there are 50 songs on my debut album. There are 50 songs.
Okay.
So because but see, people don't understand Sage. Like that's why I'm gonna ask you that why that name in a second. But because I'm so spiritually in tune, like we were talking with
Mhm.
myself
Yeah.
and the divine, that these things come the way that they do.
Yes.
I'm like
They
they
do.
don't. I've never spent more
Not
than
for everybody. Not everybody has that.
no and get it, and I love it because it talks about that energy. Like we talked about that earlier. I don't walk around penalizing or criticizing other people's process. You know,
Mhm.
my process is what it is, but I respect and I fully understand and overstand, like my boyfriend says. I understand that each one of us as artists, we're given a specific set of songs in our lifetime. And each person has a different set of songs to do a different work in this world to bring
I like
about different, feelings and emotions. So yeah, but it takes me less than 15 minutes to write a song. Like I sit
right. It's really easy for me too. I'm like that too.
yeah, because I sit down and I hear it. I hear it.
Boom. It's
I
so
hear
easy.
it.
I'd be like, okay, what's
Your
next?
voice, I can't wait to hear your because I remember when you put out a snippet a couple years ago, and I was like, that voice, I was so like, I was blown away. I was
Thank
blown
you.
away.
Thank
Your
you.
voice
Thank
is
you.
so beautiful. I was blown away. And this is the thing, so
Thank you.
pure, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because, and I'm glad you've been talking to my producer because I listen, I can't, I'm not a mainstream girl. I'm not. I will
You could. I feel like there is your music is so interesting. Like I feel like what is
not.
the genre of your music?
Okay, the genre of my music had to be created. It did not
Yeah,
exist. It,
exactly, exactly.
it
That
didn't
was my
exist.
point. Because like your music is like ooh, like I
It,
love it. Like I listen to it when I go to the gym and I'll be like
yes,
getting like ready to go. Like it makes me feel
yes.
so full. Like I love your vibe. You have a great vibe.
Well, get this. They were written in the gym.
Oh, see,
I was working out. That's where they come. That's where they come to me. When I go to the gym, that's where I hear music.
I feel it. I
Yes.
can feel it.
But the genre is called French twist. I had to invent it. It's about it's got like avant-garde showmanship in it. It really is about the acrobatics, but it is also troublesome, sad situations set to danceable beats. I'm
Yeah.
telling you about the pain that I've lived, but
Mhm,
my idea is you and I both are going to dance about this. We're going to dance
mhm.
over this. That has
Right.
always been like the mission of my music is, yes, I'm telling you, I had a boyfriend, this is that and the other, this is that and the other, and this went bad and this hurt or that, but we're going to dance our way through this. So
Mhm.
my music is also, it was also very cathartic for me to write it and perform it, but it's also very cathartic for people to listen to. They're like, wow, like you do this thing. So yeah, but I'm working on new material and just always, but let's stay there. So you are a man of many talents and singing is one of them, and you are so good. So tell me, so now I got to ask the question. Tell me where you are in your creative process because people need to understand that it's a process. They hear one song and they're just like another. And it's like, I'm like, no, this ain't no DJ Khaled over here. This stuff
Right.
is being written out of my soul.
Mhm.
And why I say I'm not a mainstream girl is not because my music won't stand up or stack up. It's because I'm not signing away my intellectual property to someone else to own it. I own my
That
master.
part. That
That
part.
part. So that's why I said it. So tell us where you are in your process and your development to this music, because my God, the music has to come.
The music has to come. The music has to come, and the music will come. I can see it happening very, very soon for me. Where am I at my in my process? Um, I have recorded. I've done work with several producers. I've recorded songs, interludes. I've started projects, but never
Yeah.
finished them.
Okay.
Just due to various reasons. Like, for example, in the Navy, obviously, that took a lot of my time, and I tried to do things during that time. Like, I literally caught flights from Hawaii all the way to Philadelphia
I
and
know.
back to record an
I,
album that never came out.
I know.
Um, and that was painful. Like that was part of like that sucked. It really did. It really hurt. Um, but when you forget about that, because like obviously it wasn't the time and it wasn't right at that time. I'm glad that it didn't come out at that time because it would have been so incomplete. And it wouldn't have made any sense, and it would have been like really all over the place because my life was all over the place.
Okay.
But now we're in Miami, like I said, we have a house, and then you think about it like that. Last summer, 2021, I got out of the Navy in May, and I went back to Philly to record with P. And
I know him. Yeah.
yeah, you know him. Yeah.
Philly is my hometown. That's where I am now.
I love Philly. And you're in Philly?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I knew you were going to do that.
Oh my God. Let me come over there. Next time I'm in town. But I went there last summer, and it was right before I took a trip to Central America, and I was like, let me go and like record as much as I can and then come back from this trip and then record more.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what had happened was like life happened. Like after I got back from my trip, life started moving very, very fast.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very fast. I came to Miami for a trip to see like the neighborhoods and stuff like that. That's when I met the guy that I was dating.
Yeah.
He was like, come move in with me. I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. I was a little bit suspicious. Like I was a little bit like cautious, obviously, but it was an opportunity. And obviously I was going to have to like spend a whole bunch of money. And he was nice enough to invite me to his home to look for a place there. So it was just lots of
You were serious about Philly.
yeah, I was. It was a lot of like non-concrete, like nothing was set for me. So it that destroyed my like creativity, like because I'm distracted entirely, like I have to figure out where I'm gonna live, where I'm gonna go to school, like all of these things. I didn't have a car. I sold my car in Hawaii, so I had to figure that out. Like it was just all these things that made it difficult. And then I'm meeting all of these people in Miami, which is great because there's a huge music world here.
Yeah.
Which I'm just getting my big toe into right now.
Yeah. I love you.
I love that door. Pop that door, girl. You gonna see. But yeah, so like I don't know, like life happens, it's weird, like unexpected things happen, but now creatively I'm open. I'm like my universe is open. I'm so happy right now in Miami. And I've been writing again, and I've been learning a lot about production as well, because I really want to be like, I would love to be able to sit back and be like, yeah, this is like the music video that I shot with my phone, of the song that I wrote and sang and produced myself. I would love to be that guy.
Yeah.
But it's really just about like having the time to learn it, because I'm capable. It's just really like, do you really want to?
Yeah.
And like right now, I'm kind of like, I would like to just be a recording artist and singer songwriter, not a producer as well.
Don't make me kill you. Don't make me kill you. You were going good. You were doing good. No. You were doing so well. You were doing
like right now. I would like to record my music. I would like to record
my hands clenched.
My music.
Way you were doing good, and then you just went left. Let me tell you something. You make time, because this is the reason. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you're going and flying back and forth to record albums of songs that you didn't write,
No, 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 no.
No, no,
That's
no,
not.
no, no, no. I'm saying not no, 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 no. Listen, that you didn't write or do the melody for. Not saying that's you,
Okay.
but if you are in doing projects that you don't 100% own, that's a
Hmm.
problem.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: a lot of art. Get this: a lot of artists they don't want to have to worry about it.
Yeah.
They just want to create art, and that's
Hmm.
understandable.
Hmm.
But I ain't never been one of them.
Yeah.
But I ain't never been one of them because my attitude is this, and I'm gonna credit Monique, the comedian and the Oscar winner,
Yes.
because what she said one day changed my view. She said, I don't want to just show my great grandbabies and my grandbabies, look, great grandma or grandma was in a movie. She
Hmm.
said, I want to be able to say to them, and your college educations are paid for, and these beautiful homes are paid for because grandma was in a movie. Like,
Hmm.
my thing is, the more you learn, and yes, yeah, let me tell you something. When I first started, I didn't write music.
Really?
I didn't know that I could.
Hmm.
There
Interesting.
was there was a young guy who got very upset at
Oh,
me
uh-oh.
because he had worked with, I'm not gonna say his name, but Music Soul Child slept on his couch. Aaliyah, he met Aaliyah, that he was a very well-known songwriter.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget, I can say this because I have to be careful though. But the first song he wanted to write for me was called Mirror. It was about my self-identity and my reflection and, who I am as a person. But he didn't necessarily like gays. So that was a problem.
Oh.
Yeah. So in the interim of getting ready to work with him, my best friend who took me to him,
Mhm.
that's my girl. Shout out to Carol McPherson because we've been on this art thing since we was long time, long time, long time. And she's talented in so many ways too. But she took me to him, and then one day I was at my house because I wasn't feeling supported from him. I
Right.
wasn't feeling like I mattered. I was being made to feel like, yeah, you're an artist, but you're gay. So you should be grateful for this opportunity, basically.
Wow.
You should roll over and basically kiss my ass because nobody is really going to give you the time of day because you're gay.
That
Yeah.
might have been true back then too.
But it might have been. It might have been.
10 years ago, people was acting crazy.
But get this. I said, oh, really?
Hmm.
And me and my girlfriend, we was on the phone and I was talking about what he had said to me, what he had said to me. And I just started like a firecracker. You came into my life, had me open, seeing things through new eyes. Now I've fallen for you, and it's not a surprise. Your love is magic. It takes me to new highs. And my girlfriend said, what you
Yeah.
say? What said?
Yeah.
Mind my business. Just talking. And that's when I realized that songwriting is its best when you live
Hmm.
a little, go out, have experiences, have fun, see people.
Feel it.
Oh, like,
Feel different.
yes, yes. And that's what I realized. And then I jumped from that little song because that was a little song, but my confidence went through the roof. So I quickly called him and said, I ain't coming back.
Right.
You ain't
It's
coming
okay.
back. You're making a mistake. Da, 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 da. That's all right. Deuces. And then from that little song, Magic, I wrote Black Stilettos.
Hey, baby.
My musical, like literally, I went from beginner to expert
Wow.
in no time. And
Hmm.
I realized it was because it was always in me. It just was unused. It had
Yes.
been
You
unused.
know. You
I
didn't. You need the experience,
mm-hmm.
that experience for it to unlock.
Yes, and honey, and I never looked back. And
Hmm.
literally, and get it. What I love about it is that this is the funny thing. My lawyer, I have to divulge this because it's kind of funny. I am, though the world doesn't even know me. Look at this, because it's always about the work you do behind the scenes.
Mhm.
I'm already a mainstream artist. I've had several things happen to me, music wise, in other countries and things that made me a mainstream artist. And my lawyer was the one, because I had to contact him because I started getting all these letters from different places and I couldn't understand what they were saying about my music. And I thought they were suing me. And he was like, no, congratulations. Your music is actually out in the world. You
Right.
are a mainstream artist.
Mhm.
He said, just
Right.
keep going, promote it more, but you out here.
Mhm.
And I hadn't realized it. But what I do is there's so many young people that just want to sign up because they want Grammys and billboards and hot
And they
one.
want money and they want to be famous. And
But
I'm like,
most people that are famous don't have money, and most people that have money aren't famous.
mhm.
No, you got people. Let me tell you something. We got social media influencers right now that we watch every day. They don't have a dime.
Mhm.
A dime. They have
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9 hustles on the side.
Mhm.
Let me tell you,
Right.
let me tell you something. I am a full-time artist. I have been for the last 16 years. It didn't come cheap, but I'm able
Right.
to do that.
Because that is not cheap.
Exactly. It's not. But I'm able to do this is my only job.
Mhm.
And
That's
that
good.
is a blessing.
And you love it too.
And I love it. But I also educate all artists because I'm like, the more you give away, the less you own.
Mhm.
See, there was a young man, I started to mentor him because, I have a mentoring program, especially for artists, but just people in general. But he, I was talking to him and this was like our first encounter. He was actually 17 and I didn't charge him because he was so young, but he was really good at music.
Mhm.
But my thing is I had to let him go because I tell him first meeting, I'm like, listen, I understand that you're excited. You want to put a single out. This is that and the other. Is your music copyrighted? No, it's not. Pump your brakes.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, you need to take and gather all of your music right now. You can do this online, ecopyright.gov,
Yep.
the e-copyright office, pay your 65 to 55 to $65, and you can copyright up to 50 songs.
Yeah.
You need to the words and the track together.
That's
I'm like, you need to have that happen.
mm-hmm.
He decides to tell me, oh, well, you don't really know what you're talking about because I look more towards mainstream artists for how they do it.
Well, baby, they don't have any money. They don't. He don't know that
Baby, they don't own their intellectual property.
they don't know own anything.
Everything they
Even
make is
the
for
clothes they wearing on the red carpet, child. They don't even know that.
So get this. Did it offend me? No. But did it make me do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I bow out. I
Mm-hmm.
said that, honey, I will always be rooting for you from the
Right.
sideline. So get
Yeah.
this.
Wow.
Couple of hours later, I get a DM message.
Oh.
Oh, well, I took what you said to my mom, and my mom did some research and found out that you were absolutely right in what you were telling me. And in my mind, because I said to him, for the price of $65, you getting ready to lose millions.
Mm-hmm.
Forget it. He said, I guess I should listen to you because clearly you know more than I do. The appeal to my vanity didn't work. I said,
He was
I
doing.
wish you the best.
Yeah. Like I said, what I said. I wish you the best. I will be watching from the sidelines quietly. The bridge is burned.
The bridge is burnt. Moved his messages to general. I do not see them.
Lord, you
Yes, because my thing is, Okay, I have this video I keep putting on my page from Chameleonaire. He keeps talking about, and this was an old clip of him. He talked about how he believes that the mainstream music industry is set up to rob the artists, especially the Black artists. He did an audit and found $600,000 that the label hid from him. And he said he had to pay a lot of money to get his song to #1. He said payola is not supposed to exist, but you pay a lot of money to get your song to #1. All the advertising and all these things. Payola is real. People don't understand. They say, I hate when people say, oh, this artist is underrated. I'm like, no, honey, she just didn't have the budget.
Right.
That's really what happened.
Yeah.
She didn't have the budget. That's why her song didn't go, because she didn't have the budget.
And I even heard that like whenever you get awards, like you have to pay, like someone has to pay. Like,
first of all, you got to pay to be a member.
Yeah, is that what it is? Something like that.
Get it? You have to pay dues to be part of the Grammy Academy, the Recording Academy. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to receive Grammys for songs that I wrote that someone else owns. You can keep, I just put this on my page last night. You can keep your Grammy, you can keep your Billboard, you can keep your Hot 100, you can keep your radio. My music did well in Europe. They keep telling me, Queen, if you come here, we will pay you to never leave. But get this, now I'm taking my time because now I have a business to move. And there are certain parameters and guidelines you have to meet when you take a business from the United States to Europe.
Absolutely.
But I don't want no bad news and I don't want no interference. So I'm taking my time and I ain't signing, I ain't going, I ain't doing nothing. Right. And my thing is, I'm letting these people do what they need to do, but don't like listen, you know, in my time as being queen, my 7 years, I have come across a lot of people, mainstream artists and unknown underground artists, and they have all come to me for my wisdom. I was there years ago as a teenager, 19, 20. I was going to sign with a major label. I had an A&R and everything. I was talking to one of the music executives not too long ago. He told me, he said, honey, they got rid of the whole A&R program. There are no longer A&Rs. Your sound, your look, and everything is up to you and your manager to get it together. What people don't understand is when you have an album, you bring it to the label. They hear it and they decide whether or not they want it, if they're going to buy it, if they're going to promote it. Like, come on. I want to play it. Listen, I don't play. And that's another thing. You know, I'm not as sensitive about my shit as most artists are, but I don't play about it that I wrote it. No. I don't play about that. You know, and there's so much an artist doesn't understand. Vocal arrangement. People get paid for that. I arrange everything.
You do?
Yep. You know what? You know what? You're sad. But see, this is me and my boyfriend do. I love him. It's just the way your mind. It's just the mind. But I arrange, like, I keep as much money in my pocket as possible.
Yeah.
Why go through, like, I think my first album, I think I spent $40,000 to do that. Yes. And that was at a discounted rate. Like, yeah. The very, very first one was like all the music before the first one. So all the music before the first one was 40,000. Then the actual first album, because I had shit that I could pull, was about 26, 27,000. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money. And I see artists get upset because, I want to put out a project. And I'm like, honey, do you know how much a project costs? You better put out one song and promote it to the hilt. I
feel like even that you might spend more than you thought you were going to spend with just
absolutely. Let me tell you something. Entertainment is a money pit.
Or you can get an investor.
Get this. Problem with that, because I got one. Problem with that is you got to check that contract. Because I feel like people giving you their coin. They want more, baby. They want more.
That part.
And they want more. Like, and they want to tell you how. They want to tell you how. They want to tell you when. They want to tell you how often. See, I was grandmothered in. My
Okay.
grandmother she was a teacher for 40 years, and she gave
Uh,
6 figures of her retirement money to launch my
wow.
career.
Yes,
But let me
man.
tell you something, it wasn't easy.
I want a
You
grandmother.
fought like cats and dogs. Let me tell you, we
Where's
fought
my
like cats
grandmother?
and dogs. But one thing I loved about my grandmother, she stopped bugging me. She stopped bothering me. She said to me clearly, you know what you're doing. Just do it and do it to death. That was, and once she said that, all this stuff popped up. Get it. Like people are tripping right now over merchandise. I spent thousands of dollars to have those illustrations done in London. I have like 70 of them. And I'm putting them now on my merch. And people are like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Your merch is fire. Da, da, da. I've had them for 9 years. And it's like people don't understand, like with the whole, like you gather components. And sometimes, and the reason why, because I took the long way, but what I wanted to tell you, I'm now rounding down. Sometimes it's not meant to come out right then,
Mhm.
but it does not negate its value.
And you know, that's a good point too. And that actually goes and bleeds into another reason why I haven't like released anything because I have how many times have you like come across an artist that you like and they only have one song
Mm-hmm.
on you know, iTunes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you search them and you find like on YouTube and they have like these other videos that are just like not as good and you're kind of just like I like that song but like I need to see something new like I need to see what's next so that I can determine if I want to fuck with them or not.
No, you can
Um,
say fuck with them. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Um, and so that was one of the big things for me, that because like we go back to perception and like how people view you, and I don't want none of that. So that was another reason why like I waited until now to like really start because I want everything that I put out to be like top notch, you know, like the best that there is, so that nobody can be like, remember that one song when he first started? Like I don't want none of that energy in my life. So like
We're all like that. Listen, I snatched down all that work. All that. I
Mhm.
snatched it all that. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back into the studio and perfect it now because I've grown.
Okay.
I'll go back and perfect all of that and put it back out.
Okay.
Yeah. No
That's it.
songs are throwaways. Like you never have throwaway songs. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
You
I
just go
agree.
back because also too, you got to think about this. When you first started, you may not have had access to the production quality.
Hmm.
It may be the production quality. So you go
True.
back and get this. Mainstream labels do this. Why do you think it's called a remix and remaster? They go
True.
remix and remaster the song
I do.
and they bring it up to date. New this and new that. Music is always changing. There's always some new plug-in you can get for a different effect, you know? So it's like, okay, music is this, music is that. You a mess. Partaking. But anyway, no, but you know, but that's the thing. Like to be able, like you can bring it up to par,
Yeah.
and because this is what I want to say. Never be afraid to show someone how you've grown. Because I find,
Mhm.
like, even for me, I love them being able to go back and look at all them Queen of Shade videos I did before, and
Yeah.
to come now, and it's
Hmm.
like, and like I ran into, she was my gym mother because
Hmm.
beautiful Jewish lady named Irene, beautiful.
Irene.
I hadn't seen her in years. Like I ran into her in like a wholesale food store, and I
Hmm.
started screaming, and I'm like, oh, she didn't know because I had my mask on. So she's like, but when she heard my voice, she was like, oh, and she hugged me and she's like, what are you doing? And I pulled out my phone and I'll never forget it. I pulled out my phone and I was like, oh, I'm doing this now. And I pulled it up and I went like this.
Yes. Yeah.
And she said, oh my God, you grew. And I was like, yes. Like I grew, I changed, I evolved, I learned so like it's good. Like what we as independent artists need to realize is it's good to show them where we came from.
For sure. For
It's
sure.
actually really good.
Okay, I can see that. So
Mhm.
basically, you're telling me to just stop sitting on it and just go ahead and put it out.
Yeah, because again, sometimes it could be production. Sometimes,
Hmm.
let me tell you something. Most of my early songs was production. And then I got with my producer and like, because get this, I wrote Black Stilettos in 2008. And the beat was made for me from a producer friend of mine who followed me on YouTube, who lived outside of the country. And he sent it to me. And when I heard it, I was like, oh my God. And I went in the studio and I exploded to that song. And that song was beautiful. And I'll never forget when it came out. But then years later, I got my producer now, Kara, Minnie on the boards. And I said to her, like, one day I was just like, can you remix and remaster this for me? And she was like, yeah, sure, send it over. When it came back, I was like it was everything I wanted it to be initially.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, and I said to her, I said, oh, child, trust me, we're going to go back and remix and remaster everything.
Everything. Welcome to the team. Exactly.
The thing is, if you don't own it, you can't do that.
Oh, okay. Now we're going back.
Yeah. You got to be able, listen, I know entertainers that are famous, have been mainstream. They travel the world singing their hits, their famous songs. They travel all over the world singing their hits. And it's like, that's good. But there were so many other songs in their catalogs that they could sing. Why only the hits? Because those are the ones the labels sanction for them to be able to promote.
Exactly.
So they can get more money on those songs.
Exactly.
I want to be able to stand on stage and be like, and get it. I don't perform. It's another thing, artist tip. I don't perform anything that's not available for sale. So I will never go anywhere and say, oh, this is my new song and it's coming out. Because I'm an independent artist. I'll stand on stage and say, this is my new song. It's called such and such. And if you go in your phone to your streaming platform right now, you can download it right now. Get it. Most artists don't realize that is all a concert is for.
Right.
You're promoting your music to your fans and followers and making new fans and followers.
And making money too, because a lot of people don't know that that's how artists make money, the mainstream, like with their concerts.
Listen, like this, touring is like literally you have artists that live on the road because they have to make that money because they don't have any of the. Listen, if more artists had the money from the actual sale, they never even need to tour. They'd never need to tour.
Yeah, exactly. Because they get like a very small amount, like 15. Some people get like nothing. A
couple of years ago, on every dollar, it was 43 cents.
That's sick.
That you got to chop up because who did the vocal arrangement? Who did the production? Who owns this? Is the beat licensed or do you own it? Like from your 43%. Then what are you going to wear on the red carpet? What are you going to wear during the costumes during your tours? Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay for the stage? Who's going to pay for all the equipment? Like, I just, you know what I do? I sit back. Mother sits back. Because I tell people, oh, I offer mentoring. And you know, I've been blessed to have mentees, but I'm sitting back because, honey, the whole world will be running to me when they find out what the hell is really going on. When they found out what the hell is really going on and what their responsibility is, not just to their music, but to their audience, what their responsibility actually is. You as an artist, we have responsibilities to deliver the best quality. And that takes time. That takes time. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have blunders. That's a part of art. It's not going to be always perfect the first time. And if your song comes out and it's fire the first time, how many producers touched it to make it fire and how many of them are getting paid? They don't understand that. So anyway, clearly we're artists and we've been talking art.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I went on a tangent, okay? But basically, long story short, don't sit on it. Get good production because you can make, listen, my first album that did so well in 2018, I recorded in my producer's bedroom, standing there. We turned the air conditioner off. I didn't want to go to the studio.
I feel you, child. I've been there too. I've worked with great producers. Like that's one thing that I'm blessed. I've worked with an amazing producer. Me and my producer in Philly, we had like really good chemistry. Like in the
Yeah.
studio, it's easy. It feels good. We know what each other are thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really awesome. So definitely that's a big deal. That's a big thing. Because I've worked with two other producers before him, and it was just a nightmare, honestly, because they wanted to do their own thing to my voice. And I'm
Yep.
like, hey, you know,
Yep.
I don't need all that
Yep.
auto-tune and stuff. I'm trying to be like a real
Right.
authentic singer here.
Get this, my second producer, because I've had four.
Mhm.
So my second producer, he always said to me, "You are blessed because you sound like you're auto-tuned, and that
Yeah.
people do not realize that
Uh-huh.
you're not."
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I've been holding off on live performances. I've done one. I did one Fashion Week 2018 when the album came out just to promote it. But
Mhm.
I'm holding off on live performances because I want to, because clearly I haven't talked about that. I'm going to have to get the venue, charge the tickets. I'm going to make that money myself. But I'm
Right.
holding it because I want people to be shocked when they
Mhm.
understand. She sounds like that in real life.
Mhm. Mhm.
I've been holding it. People,
Mhm.
oh, well, no, she doesn't sound like that. She can't hit that. It's so funny because I'll be sitting in my bed sometimes and I'll play my songs and it'll be like a song like Danger. And mind you, that whole album I recorded, I had an upper respiratory infection because of because
Wow.
of pollen in Atlanta. It was my first time to going to Atlanta and it had a lot of pollen. I had an upper respiratory infection, which is why I didn't want to leave the house.
Mhm.
So I drank a whole bunch of tea and I had to go over like parts where I could usually sing. I had to go over one word at a time, over and over and over to get it right,
Wow.
to get the proper tonation, to get the right diction, because my voice was really, and what I loved about my producer, she didn't push me. She said to me, "Baby, your voice is special anyway. You shouldn't even be yelling into this mic." She's like, "You
Mhm.
should be whispering because that's your voice. That's your,"
Mhm. Right.
and she was like, "I'll turn you up and make sure we catch every sound. For
Okay.
once, let the equipment do the work."
Okay.
Because I had producers where, oh, I'm up there, like going crazy,
Right.
like
Uh-huh.
like going
Uh-huh.
crazy, and they got me like I'm working, honey. And I
Yeah.
remember one time the producer's like, "Oh, you got to go home and get on the elliptical because you can't hit these notes." Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, "God."
Whatever.
Yeah, and then I get with her and my producer that I have now, Kara, and she's like, "Bitch, hold on, okay, move on." Like, and
Uh-huh.
and it was so crazy because when I got with her, I cried for an hour before we recorded because of what other producers had said to me. You know,
Mhm.
I thought the problem was my voice. I thought it was something that I was doing. And she was like, sing this phrase. I sang the phrase. She put it into the computer and touched it and did this and played it back. She said, "Do you hear that?" I said, "Yeah, but you did an effect on that." She said, "No, sweetie, I've yet to add the effect." She helped build my confidence again.
Yeah. That's a big thing. That's a
Yeah,
big
you need that. You need, because I was broken. I didn't even know how broken I was about my voice and my music. I didn't realize it. And then she gave me all that confidence back. And honey, I sang that whole album. And then it got leaked. I got haters. They put my
power.
album out. But I fixed it. It don't matter.
How
So
do you
anyway,
recover from that? We gotta talk about that like another
yes,
time if
we will. Yeah, we will talk. Yeah, there's ways to recover from that.
if it ever happens to me, God forbid, I'm calling you.
Listen. I'll tell you this: always have more. Always
Hmm.
have more than the music you putting on your album. That's why you'll hear like I heard Beyonce one time say, I sang 85 songs to put on this album of
Right.
14. Always
Uh,
have more. Always have more. That's how you get around it. Always have more. You
for
want to
sure.
always, and that's the thing. As an artist, you gotta always like. I learned this from my one friend. His name is Calvin Coates. I interviewed him. He had a record label back in the 90s. And
Hmm.
so I went to him to learn and different things like that. And he talked about the artist and, just different things. And he said to me, like in my YouTube days, never run out of material, always have more material. So that's why even with my videos and everything, I always have more. I got like 100 videos in this phone right now waiting to go. because I just learned to always have more. Because you're stuck. If you turn now, imagine an artist. You done paid for a specific set of that's your roommate. Your wife is home. I heard her. She can say hi.
Hold
Tell,
down.
tell her to come here. Bring her wife. Bring your wife in
This
here.
is Carlos. This is my friend Carlos.
Oh,
Here.
Carlos. Oh, Carlos
Yeah,
is.
hold on one second.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Always. Oh, he had to turn on the light. That's what it was.
The blinds were open. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi. Come on, Carlos. Let's see you. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, beautiful.
How are you?
I'm doing better now that I'm here with you guys.
Oh, yes. I'm the queen of shade.
I can. Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I can say
I could
almost
tell you were
like
a queen.
now.
I could tell you were a queen. I just did not know what kind of
Shade.
yeah.
Which queen?
Yes. Well, I'm the queen of shade, and you are beautiful. And thank you for saying
Thank you
hello.
so much.
Love you and love your legs.
Thank you. I love you.
So yeah, like you gotta always have more. That's how you get around. Like as artists, you gotta always be working. You gotta always and get it. It doesn't always go to the studio. It doesn't always go to actual production until you're ready. But you gotta always be
Right.
like, I got more because that's what artists. That's how we get in trouble. We don't have more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? The beats are expensive. Everything is expensive.
Yeah.
Turn around
Start
and you
wherever you can. I feel like that's a good pointer. Like just start wherever.
Yeah, like do listen, because get this, even with all the music that I put out, I have one song that is the absolute best that I've ever put out, and it's Stoic. Everyone loves Stoic. And it's
Mhm.
because Stoic went so huge in London. They covered me in the newspapers about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it's the song, and I'm like, and get it as an artist and a very damn good one. I'm like,
Mhm.
I like this.
Uh-huh.
This one. And I like Stoic. So
Look, it's the one.
that's the
We didn't
one.
choose that, but that's what they chose. That's what
Exactly. You should see when they refer to me in the British newspapers, they're like the Stoic singer. I'm like, this is
uh-huh.
different.
And you're like, you can't outlet Stoic.
But I own Stoic.
Uh-huh. And Stoic is you, and now you know that now everybody knows that of you.
Yes.
So
Yes. So when Stoic comes on, they're like, oh, I know who this is. I'm like, okay.
mhm.
I'm like, now go listen to the other 49.
Right. But that's the beauty of what you've got going on though, is that you have that catalog for people to like, oh, I like the song. Who is this? Oh, this is that. And then now it's all these. It's like, oh my
But
gosh.
it took time. It takes time.
Mhm.
And get it. The only way you're gonna ever build a catalog is one song at a time.
Yeah,
One song at a time.
exactly.
One song at a time. Because literally that's all you can do. You can't run and be working on 50 different things at one
I
time.
do that. I do that.
I know, Sagittarius, I know.
I do that. And then I have like, 6 incomplete songs.
Oh no.
And then where's the rest of the song? Now we have 6 interludes. You see what I'm saying? Where's the rest?
Yeah. No,
But I actually like short songs. Like I think that like I might do that, like a project of like 2 minute and 44-second and shorter songs. Cause like there like I don't like to overdo it. Like I don't like to like overkill, with music. Like I feel like, oh, it sounds really good, or it sounds really pretty, or it sounds really,
but be careful because
sexy.
be careful because there's a rule and a law that it has to be longer than, I think, a minute and some change, or 2 minutes and some change, for you to actually get paid for it.
Really? Look at us. We're learning.
Yeah.
Learning.
It has to be a certain length for it to be classified as song and you to actually get paid for it.
Okay. Well, we will be at that point within a second of that point. I'll stretch the track if I need to, or do a little.
But you know what? The more you sing, like, and where you are in your process being healed, stuff will come.
Mhm.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
It'll come to you.
Mhm.
It'll come to you.
I'm
It's
open
just,
to it. I receive it.
yeah, like, but the thing
Mhm.
is just that right now you're doing a lot, but
Mhm.
at least try to write. And you know what it is too? I'll take and do voice memos, and then what I'll do is then I'll sit down at my computer when I'm really ready, and I'll go through the voice memo and just write it out what I hear.
I'm the same exact way.
Exactly, which is why
I
I'm
have
telling you.
I have these like songs like just that I'm bored right now and like something will inspire me and I'll just start writing and then before you know it I have this huge like list of all these songs that's like super long or like I'll do like if I hear a melody or something that I like I'll sing it into the mic and it'll just be like sometimes it's just like literally gibberish but
Yeah.
it's just like the tune that I like and then I'll sit down and write to it.
Yeah.
So I have a process.
Our processes are similar.
Yes.
You know what that means? You know what that means? That means you're going to slay.
We should come to Miami. Let's collab. Let's do a little music video.
Oh my God. That would be funny.
That would be fun.
Miami. I would have to bring the biggest hair known to God.
Yeah.
Whipping in the wind. No.
Yeah.
But no, like, and the reason why we're talking like this is because our processes are the same or very similar, which means we'll be able to work together.
You see this? These are all songs that I have written.
Ciao. I can't even show
Just on this phone.
I can't even show my list. Let me just see. What's it saying? 529. Right there. All recordings. 529.
Lord, the voice memos. Yeah, let me see how many I have. I'm curious now. Look at that.
You can hit the back button at the top. It'll tell you when you go out.
Where is it? Here. No. I don't even know how to find it on this phone.
You have an iPhone, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's why, child.
Ah!
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's why.
Ah!
Boy, you need to.
I don't know where it's at. No, I think I do want to get an iPhone just for like to shoot videos with.
Yeah.
Because they're really good for like it's editing, really good for editing.
Yeah.
So I know why. It's because this is a new phone. That's why there's nothing here. So I don't
I was just ready. I'm like, don't lose your. I back up. I send the hard drives. I do all that. I will never lose my stuff because literally.
I think it's gone.
Don't say that.
It might be gone, but it's okay.
Don't say that.
On my phone, my computer is gonna die. So let me plug.
That's okay. In. That's okay. Listen, that's okay. We have given these people.
Have we?
Yeah, we have given these people more than they ever thought that they would get. We started at 6. It is 7:39. We have given them what they needed. Okay. It has been given. But now I truly enjoyed you because we were just, this is what my boyfriend would be like, oh, so this is what you do with all Sagittarius, huh?
Uh-huh.
My best friend was a Sag, like for like 13 years. Like
I love Sagittarius.
Yeah, we just bounce off each other. So okay. We've talked. Give me 3 words that inspire and empower you as an artist, as a person.
3 words that inspire and empower. Authenticity. 2 more words. It's just like super hard. You know, like sometimes I think like colors, like things that, so I feel like colors are definitely like very inspirational to me. And what's something else? Something that inspires me or what?
Empowers you.
Empowers me.
He like, girl, you're making me work.
I don't know. I can't think of a third one.
City, color, and I stump everybody with these, mind you.
Good vibes. I feel like just the good vibes, like good vibes and positivity. Like, you know, I can't press that enough. Like the moon inspires me.
Oh,
the moon inspires me.
Yes, we'll have to talk about that a whole another time.
We'll have to do part 2.
Yeah, part 2. But get this. I wanted to get to something that you said you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So I want to do that. I don't care if it's still rolling. It's my show. So I want you to talk about that. It had to do, and I'll start it. It had to do with mental illness.
Yes.
And I'm just going to start and then give you the floor and then ask questions as you go. But in college, I had to be medically withdrawn because I was diagnosed at 19 with bipolar 1, PTSD, an acute anxiety disorder. And for many years, I could not get my career together in modeling or in all of those things because I kept having manic episodes. I was unmedicated. I thought I just couldn't get it together. And then
Mhm.
6 years ago, I started medication and therapy, and it changed my life. So
Yeah.
wanted to talk about mental health and bring awareness. So you start us off here and tell us why.
Yes. So, obviously, people have heard of like, things with people and mental, issues, I guess. And recently in my life, it's come to the forefront. I have a very, 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 very close friend who I care very much about and love dearly, who had I guess we'll call it a mental episode. And the reason why I want to bring awareness to it is because you may never know the people that are in your life that may be suffering from these things until an event happens, and then you're just like, what? Completely blindsided.
Yeah.
Um, and often people discard those individuals. They're like, they're crazy. It's too much. I can't handle it. Whatever. And these are the people that end up in the streets.
Yeah.
They end up with, and they're, the people that you see like, scratching their head, like not knowing what's going on. It's because they didn't have support, and it's something so simple. And these are, you look at you, first perfect example, someone who was struggling with it, and now you have treatment, and now you're thriving. Look at you. It's not the end, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to say this for people to hear. If you are suffering from mental illness, or someone who is suffering from mental illness, don't discard them. Don't cut them off and forget about them. They're still the same exact individual that you've always known, but they're just going through a hard time. We are all spirits having a human experience.
Yeah.
And that may be beautiful and look really, really nice for some, and it may be really ugly, and it may be really scary for others. But at the end of the day, we're still humans. And at the end of the day, we all need love and we all need support. And I just really don't want people to give up on their loved ones when, they have these issues.
Beautiful. Actually, it's why I don't get along with my family, because a lot of my family wrote me off.
They don't understand. They just don't get it. Like, to them, it's like, it's so much easier for people to worry about themselves and focus on stuff. You know what? I think that I can't like fault people for that, because I've been that person for many, many different things in life.
Yeah.
But I feel like it wasn't until it came to me, when it's someone who you love, what are you going to do? What can you do?
Yeah, I was going to say, most people are not forced to deal with it until it's someone they love.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know. I had no idea. I never knew. I mean, I see the TV, you see the shows and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. That person's crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're literally just having an experience. And
what they need to understand too is mental illness is hereditary. It's passed. It comes from the family. It comes from the father. Yeah, and I got it on both sides. My father and my mother both have it.
Same with this individual as well.
Yeah, and it's so great that you brought this up, because this individual is not there, but I want to tell this individual that, when they watch this, that there is hope.
There is hope.
That the road is going to be long, and that they're going to have to learn to trust themselves and trust their doctors and trust their support system. But if they do, if they commit to themselves and being the best person that they can be, on the other side of what they think is pain is the greatest joy they will ever know. I am so happy. And let me tell you something, because I tell my boyfriend this all the time. Mental illness is very tricky. I'm so happy. I am finally getting all the things that I love and desire out of life, and I still have suicidal thoughts. It's not me. It's the brain. And it's that. And what I've realized is that therapy has given me the tools to work through that. Like, why is this happening? Okay, I don't want to kill myself. Why do I feel this despair? Why do I feel this low? And I'm able, because I've been working these tools for 16 years, I'm able to bring myself back up. But I need people to understand there is no cure.
Right.
Can get better because you get better at using the tools that you are given to help yourself. Because get it, we go to therapy. I have therapy every Tuesday for an hour. And then I'm with myself for the rest of the week, the rest of the day. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, that 1 hour and I'm of a week, and I got all these other hours that I have to fill with myself. And that's what people don't understand, especially someone entering into help for mental illness. They think they're going to get somebody to be there and hold their hand. And that's not the case. They get a person for an hour that gives them the shovel, that gives
Mm-hmm.
them the pick or the axe. And they have to use that tool when they're not in the presence of that person. And
Right.
that can be very difficult, for mental health patients. Environment is huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. It was the reason I came 16 years ago to live with my grandmother, was
Mm-hmm.
because I needed a better environment. I had been living on my own, but I had very self-destructive patterns and behaviors. So she
Mm-hmm.
was able to watch me. She was able to be here with me, and I cultivated better behaviors, like going to the gym, like becoming a social media influencer, like becoming a recording artist, and making all of these things. These are the positive things that I've chosen to do instead of the negative things. And
Right.
even for me, what a lot of people don't talk about with mental illness is hypersexuality. You get either hyper or hypo, where you're either really sexual or not sexual at all. Well, I have
Okay.
both. So for a long time,
Yeah, because you were saying 10 years. So you
yes,
were hyper and then you transitioned to
and, and
hypo.
I and then for 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I just want to segue here and say this: I'm excited about seeing my boyfriend, but I don't want to awaken a dragon, a sleeping dragon.
Right. You don't want to go from hyper to hyper to hyper. You
I
want to go back.
don't know if I want to do hyper anymore because
Uh-huh. Well,
a
it could be
girl,
fun. It could be fun with him. You
this like her sex, and my man is gonna be 46. I can't break him now. I can't break him. I ain't trying to break
not yet. Not
him.
yet. Not yet.
What you say? Don't break him yet. Like
Don't
it's
break.
so funny because he says to me, like, "Oh, I'm worried about you because you." Yeah, yeah. I don't want to break
Yeah.
it, but I want people to understand that the doctor told me when I was 19. His name was Dr. Goodpaster. That was his name. His name was Dr. Goodpaster, all one word. He said, "You are a fragile personality, and you are going to have to take the very best care of yourself possible in your life. You're going to have to learn to put yourself first. When you're ready to leave, you're ready to leave. When you want something and it is within your power, you can get it. When it's not, he let me know you have to take care of you." And what I will say about most people that are mentally ill or have mental health challenges is we spend our time taking care of everyone else for the most part, and then we neglect ourselves. So I
Mhm.
just want to remind your friend so that when he or she watches this, just a reminder, take care of yourself. If you don't feel good today, you don't feel good today. Now, depression is real.
Mhm.
Depression is real. I, with
Mhm.
type 1 of bipolar disorder, I got all the energy. So it's why I could make thousands of videos and do all of that. I get energy, but my boyfriend sees it. The world doesn't see it. I have maybe every 3 months, I have 2 or 3 days of exhaustion when I'm down.
Mm.
Nobody
Mhm.
sees that. I'm
Mhm.
just actually, today was the first interview day because actually yesterday I was coming out of my exhaustion. And then
Wow.
yeah, and then I can go for however long I need to, but I only have to go for I think a week and a half now, and then I'm
Mhm.
going on vacation with my boyfriend in New York for like
Okay.
weeks, 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks right now. Might extend it. I don't know.
Right. She bought a one-way ticket, everybody. She bought a one-way ticket.
No, I bought two. I bought two. I got it. It's both ways, but I could call them and change the date.
Uh-huh. Extendo.
Yeah, I could call them and change the date. But
Mhm.
I want everyone. That was a good way to end. It's just we all need to take care of ourselves, and we all need to listen to ourselves. And what we need to understand is when we hit a moment of failure, and I mean like working out, when you hit failure, put the weight down,
Right.
put the weight down, put it down.
And ask for help. Ask for help. I feel like a lot of
It's so
people
get it. It's very, they don't know how. It's
they
embarrassing.
don't.
because they don't want to be all crazy. I was there. They don't want to be all crazy.
I guarantee you, if you're watching this right now and you're mentally ill or struggling with mental illness, I guarantee that your friend would rather hear you sound crazy than to go to your funeral.
Yes. Ooh.
Period.
I like the way you.
I would much rather someone come to me and be like, number 6666 keeps coming up into my mind, and then me go like this and be like, okay,
yeah,
let's dissect that.
Yeah.
Then they're dissecting you at the mortuary, doll.
Yeah.
Like, let's not do that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
So ask your friends for help. Come to me for help. I'm sure that you can find my Instagram link here.
I'm going to ask you all of that next.
I have time for that. I really do. I really believe that deeply. I have time for anybody who has some crazy things they want to talk about or cool things, anything that you have time for. Come on. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out.
Yeah. And I commend you for being that person. I commend you for being that person, because a lot of times we don't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy, because even my grandmother, she just done so much for me. And I had to tell her. It was only right for me to tell her. I'm still having suicidal thoughts. I'm still having this. I'm still having that. And she's like, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm not healed.
Right.
I'm living better and using the tools,
mm-hmm.
And healing others. Isn't that crazy?
Amazing.
Healing others.
Amazing.
Like literally, my videos save lives. Like literally,
I love your videos. Like they come across my timeline. I watch it, and I'm like, I didn't even know I needed to hear that, but I love that. You know what I mean?
And it's like, and I want to dispel this myth that you have to be in pain to help other people. Like you don't have to be in pain, because the reason why is because I recently had a conversation, and it was about Britney Spears and her mental health challenges, and how her family treated her poorly because of money. And she talked about how she was an atheist. And at that moment, I was having a conversation, and I said, and I'm going to say it here, I said, I wish a motherfucking Christian would come for her. After what she's been through, I said, Christians, y'all better sit down, shut up, and pray for her in silence, because y'all know the life that she had to live. And my thing is, Britney is still reachable. She's just angry. She's angry. She's still reachable. She's reachable because no one that she's always been kind, open, and giving, but she's fed up. And that conversation led me to do a series of videos that will come out tonight, where I'm talking about, listen here, I don't know what your God does, but my God does not test me with trial and tribulation. Trial and tribulation happen in my life, and then my God whispers in my ear how we gonna get out of it.
Right.
He doesn't make it happen. He's not, I don't need it to happen. I'm on this new revelation, and I'm sharing it tonight, which is kind of funny that, when God slipped my two-spirited soul into my body, it was perfect. It didn't need calamity or danger or pain to grow and evolve and become this powerhouse. I was born this powerhouse, And also another point, that a lot of the things that we're dealing with in life are circumstance. Now, I always say, people give God too much credit, people give the devil too much credit. Some things are just circumstance. You did it, or the generation before you did it, or failed to do it. That's where I am on that. So I'm like, stop saying, oh, the Lord want me, I went through this and I'm better now and I'm strong. No, you didn't have to go through this. It's just that the people above you didn't do their job. They didn't handle their business for the family, and now you got stuck with the problem.
And you got to work through that now.
And now you got to work through it.
But don't take it personal. Just do it. Just work through it. Don't get stuck.
Yeah. But that's where my revelation is. But I thank you so much for we had us a real conversation, but it was long overdue. I haven't talked to you in so
I know. We have to stay in touch.
Yes. Well, you have my number and I have yours.
I do.
I'll be calling you like, how's the weather?
It's
raining. I'm like, you got any graphs or stuff?
Right.
Can't wait to see you on TV doing that. Wake Up Miami.
Wake up, Miami. Let's go.
Yeah, so listen, tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at _Sagittarius Sage _. And if you go on YouTube, I should be putting a video out probably this week. I'm gonna do it because I'm not feeling inspired all of a sudden. You can find me on YouTube at Sage the Singer. If you Google Sage the Singer, YouTube, it'll come right up. And like, is that it? Is that how you find me?
Yeah, that's how we find you. Now I have one more question for you.
What's the question?
I've known you for so long. Please tell everybody why you selected the name Sage.
Sage, yeah. So I'm into numerology and I'm into vibes. Vibes don't lie. And I discovered that my life path is number 7. And so with that, I did some research and they were saying that like the name, like there's like a persona behind that life path and it's Sage. And it felt literally right in line with my life. I was like, okay, that's clearly me. I'm Sage. So I decided to, rebrand myself as Sage. And you'll see in my visuals that I have my ideas that I have coming up. It'll all come to place. It'll be in the first video.
Yes. My life path is 4 and I'm the confidant.
Confidant.
Everybody tells me everything.
I can see that.
He said I can see that. So, okay, don't go nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the amazing vocal stylings of this beautiful, beautiful man and this wonderful, wonderful conversation that we have had. Sage. Say goodbye, but do not hang up. So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Gonna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing